Good morning, students. Welcome to your geography class. Today we will start second chapter, which is physical features of India. In this chapter we will discuss the broad major physiography division of our country. As you know, we are the seventh largest country in the world. We also have diversity in our relief or in our physical feature. So the main six major physical features or physiography division of a country. First is Himalayan Mountains, then we have Northern Plains, then we have Peninsula Plateau, Indian Desert, Coastal Plain, and lastly the island. So first I will discuss about the Himalayan Mountains. So as you can see, the Himalayan mountains are geologically young and structurally folded mountain. Okay, so age wise they are very much young, and their structure is fold mountain. It's an example of fold mountain. Like when we are folding paper to create paper fans, the way it created a structure, same way when two plates they collide with each other, it create fold like structure. So due to the convergent plate, it means when two plates collide with each other, they created the structure and it named fold. So by that only this whole Himalayan mountain region formed. As you can see through this map, it is clearly showing you the location of Himalayan mountain region. It is the total northern part of India. Okay, now as from the first line we got to know that geologically it is young and it is example of fold mountain. Next what we have, now the northern borders of India. Okay, it covered the whole northern border of India. This mountain ranges run in west to east direction. You have seen through map only that how this Himalayan mountain region runs through west to east of our country. Okay, from western part of India to eastern direction up to Arunachal Pradesh. Indus to Brahmaputra. If we go through the river wise, so it will from Indus, as you can see, in west to Brahmaputra in east. So the direction of Himalayan mountain region is from west to east. It is from Indus to Brahmaputra. The Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers in the whole world. So as you can see, the Himalayas represents loftiest and one of the most rugged barriers in the whole world. It means here in this Himalayan mountain region, we will get the highest peak points of the world. As we know, Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, K2, Nanda Devi. These are some highest peak points of the world which we have in this Himalayan mountain region. So Himalayan mountain region is consists of the loftiest as well as some rugged mountain barriers of the whole world. They form an arc. Okay, it's kind of a half circle, as you can clearly see through this map. It's formed like an arc which covers distance about 2400 kilometer. So Himalayan mountain region covers total 2400 kilometer area from west to east. Now we will discuss about the width. Now the width of this Himalayan mountain region varies. Okay, according to the area, according to the region. Okay, the width of this Himalayan mountain region varies from 400 kilometer in Jammu Kashmir, it means in west, to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. If you go through the map, you can clearly see how the width of Himalayan mountain region is quite wider in western side or in Kashmir side, as well as very much narrow. It is very much narrow in the eastern side of India. So the width varies from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh from 400 km to 150 km. Now the altitudinal variation, of course, this altitudinal variation are greater in the eastern half than the western half. Now variation in altitude, variation in height, we will get to see properly in the western half or in the western part of this Himalayan mountain range compared to the western half. Now the Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. Okay, so first we see now the total area of India the total area of Himalayan mountain range is 2004 kilometer. Okay, and the width is 400 kilometer in Jammu Kashmir, and it is 150 only in Arunachal Pradesh. Then we have seen the altitudinal variation or the height wise variation mostly we have in the eastern part compared to the western part. Now the Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges longitudinal. First is as well as a number of valleys in between these ranges. Okay, so the first or the northernmost range of Himalaya is Great Himalaya, Inner Himalaya, Himadri Himalaya. This is the northernmost parallel range of Himalaya. It is the northernmost one. Okay, and it is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peak. So in this range, in this Great Himalaya range or Himadri Himalaya range, we have world's highest peak points. Okay, so the average height of this area is around 6,000 meters, and it consists of all the prominent Himalayan peaks. So in this area, average height started from 6,000 meter and it goes on and on and in this range only we will get the prominent peak points of Himalaya. Okay, so you have this kind of chart in your textbook. Clearly you can see the peak points. Mount Everest, as you know, this belongs to Nepal. Now of course the whole Himalayan mountain range we don't have in our country. Some part belongs to Nepal also. So as you can see, Mount Everest belongs to Nepal, which is 8,848. Then we have Kanchan, the second highest peak point. It belongs to India, which is 8,598. Then we have Makalu. Then we have Dhaulagiri, Naga Parbat, Annapurna, Nanda Devi, Kamet, Namcha Barava, Gorla, Mandhata. So these are some loftiest, some highest peak points in Himalayan mountain range. Some of them belongs to India, some of them belongs to Nepal. Okay, so the folds of now as we have seen in the first line that Himalayan mountain range is an example of fold mountain. So the folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. Okay, so the folds of Great Himalaya or the northernmost Himalayan mountain range is asymmetrical. They are not symmetrical. Okay, and the core of this part of Himalaya, this part of Himalaya is composed of granite rocks. This area of Himalaya is formed by igneous rock and mainly it is composed of granite rock, which is an example of igneous rock. It's parallelly snow bounded. Okay, this area is parallelly snow bounded because of the height. Because of the height, okay, as it is started from 6,000 meter. So this area is fully covered by snow. Why? Because we know per 1,000 meter height will increase, 6.4 degrees centigrade temperature will increase. Okay, so as this area's height started from 6,000 meter and it's up to around 8,848 meter. So this whole area is covered by snow. It's whole covered by glaciers only. Okay, so as you can see, a number of glaciers descend from this range because of the height. Okay, this area is fully covered by glacier as well as by snow, and from this area, that's why only we have the perennial rivers. Okay, we have Indus, we have Brahmaputra, we have Ganga and its tributaries. All these are originated from this range of Himalaya because this area is full covered by snow. Okay, and because of that only it is possible that throughout the year these rivers are having water. So they belong to the category of perennial river. Next you can see now the range lying to the south of Himadri. As I said, the northernmost part of Himalaya is Himadri Himalaya. Now the southern part, the southern part of Himadri Himalaya is most of rugged mountain system known as Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. So second range of Himalayan mountain range is Himachal Himalaya or Lesser Himalaya. It is the southern part of Himadri Himalaya. Okay. Now the ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rock. As we have seen, now the Himadri Himalaya consists of granite rocks. This area, this Himachal Himalaya, Lesser Himalaya, is composed of compressed and altered rocks. Here we will get soft rock as well as hard rocks. Okay, this whole area is composed of both type of rocks or altered rocks. It can be soft rock as well as hard rock. It means here we will get some of igneous rocks, some metamorphic rock as well as some sedimentary rocks. The altitude, okay, the height of this area in between 3700 to 4500 meters, and the width and the average width of this area is 50 kilometer. As we have seen, the Himadri Himalayas width is 400 to 150 kilometer. This Himachal Himalayas width is 50 kilometer, and the height is less than Himadri Himalaya. It is in between 3700 to 4500 meters. Okay. And now in this range of Himalaya, which is Himachal Himalaya, this range of Himalaya is consisting of three important ranges. It is Dhauladhar, Mahabharat, okay, and Pir Panjal. So it is Pir Panjal range, it is Dhauladhar range and Mahabharat range. So Himachal Himalaya range or Lesser Himalaya range is consisting of three prominent ranges known as Pir Panjal range, Dhauladhar range and Mahabharat range. In this range, okay, we have some famous valley. As we know that from Greater Himalaya all the rivers started. So in this range, rivers started their deposition activity, and of course they are doing also their erosional activity. So we have some famous valleys. In this range. It is Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. As we all know about these famous valleys, these are very much popular for tourism. Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley, Kulu Valley. Okay, some of them belongs to Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir. So for tourism, and this region is well known for its hill station. As I said, this area is very well known for its tourism, for its environment, for its nature. Okay, so it is only possible due to the nature that this area's height is within 3700 to 4500. Not, this is not too much. This area is not fully covered by snow, but yes, of course, during the winter we are having snowfalls over here, as well as we having the river valleys over here. So this helps to enhance the nature of this range of Himalaya. Okay, now we will go for the next range. So the outermost range or the southernmost range of Himalaya is Shivalik Himalaya. Okay, it is Shivalik Himalaya. The outermost range of Himalaya is known as Shivalik Himalaya. It extends over the width of 10 to 50 kilometer, and the altitude is very low compared to other ranges of Himalaya. It is within 900 to 1100 meters. Okay, so this is the outermost range of Himalaya, or this is the of Himalaya. It is within only 900 to 1100 meters, and the width is very very less, only 10 to 15 kilometer. In this range is composed of unconsolidated sediments brought by the rivers from the main Himalayan range located farther north. As I said that rivers started deposition activity in the lower range of Himalaya because of the low height. Okay, so in this range, this area, full area is composed of the alluvium. Okay, it's area composed of the pebbles, gravels, small stones with alluvium, because in this range of Himalaya rivers started their deposition activity. So the sediments brought down by the rivers only possible we have here. So these valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between the Lesser Himalaya and Shivalik are known as dunes. Okay, you heard this word dunes. Okay, so what is the meaning of dune? Now the longitudinal river valley, basically the river valleys that lying between lesser Himalaya and Shivalik, which we have in between Shivalik, which is the southernmost part, and in lesser Himalaya, Himachal Himalaya, known as dunes. These are the longitudinal river valleys we have in between Shivalik and lesser Himalaya. So this is locally known as dunes. So the prominent dunes like Dehradun, which we all know, Dehradun, Kotil Dun, Patil Dun, are some well-known dunes. So what is the meaning of dunes? Now dune means the longitudinal valley in between lesser Himalaya and Shivalik Himalaya. These type of longitudinal river valleys locally known as dunes, and the very famous dunes in our country is Dehradun, Kotil Dun and Patil Dunes. Okay. Next we have, now beside the longitudinal division, so according to the longitudinal division, we have seen the three ranges of Himalaya. It is Himadri Himalaya, it is Himachal Himalaya, and it is Shivalik Himalaya. Now we will divide the Himalaya on the basis of the direction from west to east. Okay, according to the direction from west to east, we will discuss or we will divide the Himalaya. Now this division have been demarcated by the river valleys, as I said, according to the river. So from the part of Himalaya lying between Indus and Satluj. Okay, if you open the map, if you see the map, so if you open the map, you will get to see that here in the western part of Himalaya, we have Indus, Jhelum, Ravi, Satluj. Then we have Yamuna, Ganga, Gharghara, Gandak, Koshi. Then east, extreme east part, we have Brahmaputra. So these are some rivers which is connected with Himalayan mountain range. So according to these rivers only we can demarcate or we can divide Himalayan mountain range. So the part of Himalaya which is lying in between Indus and Satluj, known as Punjab Himalaya. Okay, so the westernmost Himalayan part which is in between Indus and Satluj, known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is not also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya. Okay, so traditionally the part of Himalaya which belongs to within Indus and Satluj known as Punjab Himalaya, but locally, regionally, this is also known as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya. This is in between Indus and Satluj. Now the Himalaya which we have in between Satluj and Kali river, known as Kumayun Himalaya. So after Satluj, okay, so in between Satluj and Kali, after Punjab Himalaya, the part of Himalaya in between Satluj and Kali river we have is known as Kumayun Himalaya. Next, in between Kali and Tista river, now we're coming towards the east. Now we are coming towards the east. So the part of Himalaya which we have in between Kali and Tista river, known as Nepal Himalaya. Okay, now the part of Himalaya lying between Tista and Dihang river. Okay, it's a tributary of Brahmaputra. Dihang is a tributary of Brahmaputra river. So the part of Himalaya which is lying in between Tista river and Dihang river, known as Assam Himalaya. So you have seen, now according to the river valley wise, we have some division of Himalaya, as the western part in between Indus and Satluj river, known as Punjab Himalaya. Then we have Satluj and Kai river, Kumaon Himalaya. Then we have Nepal Himalaya in between Kali and Tista, and lastly in between Tista river and Dihang river we have Assam Himalaya. Okay, so these are some Himalayan mountain division we have according to river valley wise. Now next we will see, now the Brahmaputra marks the easternmost, as I have shown you in the map, that in the eastern part, extreme eastern part of Himalaya, we have this Brahmaputra river. Okay, So the Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of Himalaya. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalaya bends sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary. Okay, so the extreme eastern part of India, which is demarcated by the Dihang Gorge, where the river Sangpo, okay, it bent due to the structure of Himalaya. It bent and it enters India. So the eastern boundary of India is known here. It's known as Purvanchal. Okay, this part of Himalaya, which belongs to the extreme eastern boundary of India, known as Purvanchal, or the eastern hills and mountain, as it is the extreme eastern part of India, so it is known as Purvanchal or the eastern hills and mountain. So these hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstone, which are sedimentary rock. So this part, which is known as Purvanchal or eastern hills mountains, so this is basically run through majorly the northeastern states of India, including Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya. Okay, so this area is covered by sedimentary rock, mainly by sandstone, and covered with forest, because here we have very less population. We have, that's why we have here the Himalayan mountain range, we have Purvanchal over here, we have Brahmaputra river, so we have dense forest region over here, as well as we have very less settlements. So the Purvanchal comprises by some hills. This Purvanchal comprises by some hills known as Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and Mizo Hills. So these are some hills from Purvanchal. It is Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and Mizo Hills. So as you can see, the Brahmaputra river demarcated the extreme eastern boundary of India, which is part of Himalaya, and this part is known as Purvanchal. This area is covered by mostly the northeastern state. Here we are having river valley, we have hills, as well as we have dense forest. And this area is comprises by some hills known as Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and Mizo Hills. Okay, so I hope this video, this explanation part helps you to understand today's topic. We will discuss further topics in your next class. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for today's class.